Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rockwell Swat Action with the weekly comic book roundup. Get things started off with the War of the Realms tie-in books. So, first off, we've got War of the Realms number 3, which I'm just going to say, I love the fact that they're going twice monthly with this, because it makes the clutter of an event very contained, just within a couple months or 3 months. So anyway, where we left off, Midgard, Earth, has fallen to the armies of Malekith. The heroes and as many civilians as possible have retreated to Avengers Mountain. And various heroes are out also performing various other heroic tasks, trying to rescue various people, various important people who were not in New York. So, we open up with the armory on Avengers Mountain. Lady Freya, the All-Mother, asks for Cap's help in finding Thor and bringing him home to Asgard, where Heimdall, now blind, is talking with Daredevil, who appears to have. Well, anyways, he has Daredevil draw the sword for the Bifrost. And Daredevil then becomes Daredevil the God without fear. Apparently this is so that they can use the Bifrost, or what's left of it, to send strike forces out into the various realms. So in Jotunheim, the realm of the giants, we've got Cap's team, consisting of Cap, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. They're quickly assaulted by frost giants, and the flying steed that Cage is on gets taken down with an arrow the size of a telephone pole. Well, okay, so maybe a little smaller, but you get the idea. In Svartalheim, realm of the Dark Elves, we have another group that includes Ghost Rider and She-Hulk and Punisher, as well as Blade and Lady Freya herself. Their job is to destroy the Black Bifrost, which Malekith is using to get his forces from point A to all points in between. Back on Earth, Malekith has just taken on the various. Malekith and his forces have faced and defeated the various British heroes, including Black Knight, Union Jack, and I forgot her name. She's a speedster though, and a vampire. Weird combination. It's a family thing. Damn it, I even got a figure of her. It's gonna drive me nuts now. But then the War Avengers arrive. Captains Marvel and Britain, as well as Winter Soldier, Lady Sif, Venom, Weapon H, and Deadpool. But Loki's forces Malekith's forces arrive on Asgard, and they're going after the Bifrost. Jane Foster insists that the bridge be held. In Avengers Mountain, Shuri and Tony Stark are making a weapon alongside the dwarf Screwbeard, while frost giants approach. Then Apparently, the oceans have been attacked as well. Wakanda is holding off, or the Dora Milaje are holding off the War Angels. And Rockland Corporation pretty much has taken Antarctica for themselves. And not all the heroes, it turns out, have left New York. There are still, after all, 4. The Fantastic Four. In Jotunheim, Cap and crew continue on against the Frost Giants, while Wolverine sniffs his way around. They mention that they hear screaming. And Logan mentions it's not just anyone screaming, that's Thor screaming. Back to Svartalheim. Lady Freya and her team make quick work of the various dark elves and other natives of the realm. And She-Hulk is about to use her build up her gamma radiation to destroy the Black Bifrost. Back in London, Venom fights Malekith, and Malekith runs him through with the Ebony Blade. During the fight, Malekith mentions that he's been chatting with the Venom symbiote. He tells a fascinating story about the symbiote god Null and his Necrosword. He then stabs Venom with the Ebony Blade, and seems like they both vanish. On Asgard, the battle continues to hold the Bifrost. However, one elf manages to get through with explosive and destroy the Bifrost. The plan for Svartalheim is now changed. They're not going to destroy the bridge. They're going to hold it and use it themselves. Oh, and apparently in Svartalheim they have, I think it's actually kind of neat, tanks made from giant alligators. In Jotunheim, the Cap's crew manages to get to the streaming, and they find Thor having killed more than a few frost giants. Wolverine has to quickly, get everyone, kind of, whoa, chill, don't approach him just yet. He's in a berserker rage. And Thor, covered in blood, is just, asked to be sent more Odin damned giants. All of them. Oh, and you've got to see that page. Covered in frost giant blood. He's lost his prosthetic arm as well. I'm just noticing that. And that is where the issue ends. I love how this issue is actually kind of the opposite of the cover. Alright, so moving on, we've got War of the Realms Strike Force, The Dark Realms. Okay, so you may remember from War of the Realms number 3. We just had a little bit one of the plot threads was Lady Freya and her team, consisting of the Punisher, Ghost Rider, Blade, and She-Hulk. This is the book that this is their story. This will be the more detailed version of that. So, in Avengers Mountain, between issues 2 and 3, it's moving so fast. I feel like I'm talking. The last issue was just issue 1, but yeah, Freya goes to recruit Punisher. Explaining that, Steve Rock, as she puts it, Captain America suggested I speak with you. He doesn't like you, but he respects you. He said you could understand the darkest parts of heroism, the line between righteousness and villainy. A man like you would find Asgard comfortable, if Asgard still remained. Our task, destroying Malekith's Black Bifrost, isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It may require a confrontation with the shadows we create of ourselves. From what I understand, your shadow is all that remains of you. In victory, we can lose everything. Steve Rogers said you could provide some perspective on this, the cost of victory. Punisher's response is that Steve Rogers should learn to keep his name out of Frank's name out of his mouth. So yeah. She also asked, are there others that could, along the same vein as you? Basically, give me some killers. Though, I guess that this is after Captain America called dibs on Wolverine, so. And the only one who's initially reluctant is Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. But after basically getting the yes, you can trust each of us. She was just like, fuck it, I'm in. But so now they all have to, as Freya puts it, show her their darkness. And so each get a vignette with each one. Jennifer Walters fights Bruce, all hulked out, classic Hulk. Ghost Rider fights. Honestly, it's more like he's fighting Danny Ketch. Blade fights a future Vampire King version of himself. But of course, they all triumph. And they all figure out what's what, so. And they do beat her, but off they go to Svartalheim. Also, Punisher explains that Blade, they all have the moment of, oh, hey, yeah, so what do you see? And Blade and Punisher are kind of around, Dracula, been there, killed that. Run-of-the-mill evil vampire lord version of myself. I had a castle. Never thought about having my own castle. Yours? Kittens. Thousands of fluffy kittens caught up in trees, all of them meowing at the same time. But seriously? Like, no, I just killed all of you. But I felt bad about it. And then Freya pulls Frank aside and kind of says, she might end up having to she may have to turn. I guess maybe it would turn to the dark side to complete their mission. And he kind of explained, how do you deal with. She asks also, how does he do what he does and not become what he hates? He tells a story about, where's some kidnapped kid, shooting his way through the place. He's blood splattered all over him. Saves the girl, Girl's terrified of him. But he looks at himself in the mirror. Like I said, he's got some blood splatter all over him. But, and he realizes what he is. He's a monster hunting monsters. Okay. And goes on to say, make sure the right thing gets done, Lady Freya. Kill the monsters. Be a monster if you have to. Win the war. It's fine. And she then tells Frank that he has the respect of Asgard. How about that? So we pick back up about where we left off. Now they gotta hold the bridge. But Freya just kinda says, okay, look, you all done your part, but this is different, so we don't have to hold this is now the Bifrost we gotta use. So I'll hold it, you guys take it and get out of here. And he's like, nah, we're all sticking around. Then she kinda goes, I guess, dark side. Marvel as Guardian lore is not something I'm entirely 100% up on, so yeah, she goes a little dark and says, "This is war. It's fine." Anyway, we got two more Strike Force books coming out this month: War Avengers and Land of the Giants. Each one focusing on a plot thread from this issue. Alrighty, next up, and last of the War of the Realms tie-ins for the week, we've got Champions number 5. And yes, that is Cyclops. Okay, so now what is Cyclops doing on the cover of the Champions? No, we'll get to that. Alright, so we start off in where we left off. Spider-Man had quit the team because he had made the decision to allow Mephisto, the devil, to to turn things back so that him and Amadeus Cho could prevent Viv Vision and Miss Marvel from dying on a mission to Dubai. However, a young girl who Miles initially saved ended up dying because of the changed timeline. So he's in Dubai talking with the girl's mother, learning about her, and on the TV they see what's going on at the invasion of New York, and so she tells him, to go where he's needed. And when he gets there, save everyone he can. Alright, so we cut to Melbourne, 16 miles west of Melbourne. The Champions, we got Viv, Bombshell, Sand, Patriot, and Miss Marvel taking on Trolls. And apparently the Australian Defence Force are occupied in Sydney. And Miss Marvel's kind of having a bit of a crisis because Miles quit the team after, the whole Mephisto thing. Or at least after telling Miss Marvel what happened. Amadeus knew about the whole thing, tried to keep it a secret, and the two were kind of sniping at each other, and Amadeus is currently showing off with a new team. That'll be in another tie-in later on. Sam joined up Nova, hooked up with one of his old enemies, took off into space looking for his old Nova helmet. Viv and Ironheart had some kind of argument that sent Ironheart into hiding, and Nadia had a mental breakdown. not having a mental breakdown, apparently having in her in the Unstoppable Wasp 4 and 5. And so Pinpoint is basically running everyone all over the place. In Tallahassee, him and Power Man pick up a bunch of medical supplies, drop them off in Queens, New York, with the X-Men. Pinpoint identifies who they are who him and Power Man are to Havoc and Cyclops. Anyways, Pinpoint goes back to Australia with Power Man and Cyclops. Cyclops shouting out, "To me, my champions." I'm actually really glad that they've kept that there's continuity between this and other X books, especially with Cyclops having lost his eye. Anyway, so the champions managed to get rid of another group of rock trolls, and Miss Marvel and Cyclops talk a bit. Now, and she kind of, I kind of know who you are, but it's more I know the younger you. This iteration of the champions, when they first started up, the temporarily displaced version of Cyclops was a founding member. So yeah, she does kind of know him. And then they have this nice little hug, and then he tells her, when the all new X Men went back and closed the loop. So there's a time loop. All of them, everything that Cyclops went through in the present, Teen Cyclops went through in the present, ended up being given to modern Cyclops. Time travel, man. Not okay, maybe once or twice, but I tried to limit myself to just a handful of times, if ever. Time travel, though. And Dust and Cyclops talk about the fact that Dust didn't answer any, all X-Men calls. And she says, "Hey, I'm trying to find a way to live my life without harming others. But if you need me, but sometimes, no, don't damage your faith to join us." And so, Dust gets officially made a part of the champions. Another wave of rock trolls shows up, and the champions smack them around, and once again they save the day. And Miss Marvel relates to Cyclops that she's had, it's not the easiest, things are kind of rough right now, and kind of goes to a little bit of detail. And Scott is, Cyclops is, "Hey, I've been where you are. I know what you're feeling. Can't get any easier, but what you're doing matters." It's a nice moment. Then he returns to Queens, and Pinpoint to "Hey, let me know if I can help it." But yeah, it's a fun little moment, and they even got the Cyclops and Havoc bickering right. Anyway, that's it for the War of the Realms tie-ins this week. Let me know. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know what you've thought about them in the comments, or let me know whatever in the comments. Be sure to hit the notification bell to be informed when I put up new content, and links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. And of course, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. This is the Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.